Episode 5, baby.
Yeah.
What's up, everyone? Episode 5, or in Roman numerals, V.
Hey!
Which is your letter of the first letter of your name. What? Sorry.
It's my time to shine.
It's like QAnon being the 17 and all the... Well, we won't go there. Episode 5, we made it. This is beyond just a little passion project. For those of you that have been listening, we are committed to this show, and we are not going anywhere.
We are committed to you.
We look forward to toasting 100. So buckle up. We got some great stuff to talk about today. We've all heard good press. Well, all press is good press, right? Is that true? And what does it mean for your brand to be kind of prepared for these moments of virility?
Virus.
Jay. Just ask this guy.
We can thank our friends from Always Sunny for that touching approach for what a viral video is. Unfortunately, it's not that simple. It's not a computer virus for those listening, so that's probably good for some and maybe not for others. But in this age of viral media, of opportunities where brands can be created and launched so fast and so quickly, and where the meme moments can be grabbed, what does this all mean to you, Veronica?
What does it all meme to me?
What does it all meme to you?
I know. As a fan of memes, I was really excited for this episode. I'm going to coin the term innocent brand stander. So I think in the world of social media, which now sounds like a cliche to say, but it's true. We're in a very social media heavy world. We're seeing an influx of brands get swept up into viral stories without their consent. They kind of get rolled along once you put a brand out in the market. You can't really control what the public does with that. So how do you respond? We can control how we respond, which is some life advice. You can always control your reaction. Brands that have these moments where they get teed up and brought into these stories as innocent brand standers, they should lean in.
Absolutely, absolutely. And today we're going to be talking about two major brands. So let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Ocean Spray versus Twisted Tea.
Well, we know who would win in a fight once you hear my story. I'm taking Twisted Tea.
Oh, man, you went there.
I went there.
You went there.
Yeah.
And having seen that video, I hope
Someone else went there, and we're not going to go there, but it had to be went.
Okay, well, we think about Ocean Spray. We think about a brand that's been around since the 1930s. I don't know if you know, started by 3 guys in a bog. That bog deserves a lot of credit. It's actually a collective of
It's
bogs.
almost like the bog was the 4th member of the company.
Yeah, that'd be a nice band name. 3 guys in a bog. 3 guys in a bog. Mostly string
3
instruments.
guys in a bog would have been a nicer name than Ocean Spray. The Ocean Spray is nice.
That's true. I don't think that there's anything relating to the ocean that's involved. I was sort of moved by this brand being such a kind of family legacy outfit. I mean, I wouldn't think of this brand necessarily as a social media juggernaut or truly one that would be prepared for today's conversation, but quite frankly, based off of their behaviors, they're on the winning side of this argument, I think.
Yeah, they got pulled into a viral story. Should we educate people on what that
if you're
was?
not familiar with the TikTok sensation viral video, an Idaho man named Dogface208, at least that's his handle, published a video of him drinking Ocean Spray on a longboard across the street. Do you want to share for the listeners what happened?
Yeah, well, his truck had broken down, or his vehicle had broken down, so he jumped on a longboard. He played Dreams by Fleetwood Mac, and he was vibing. It was like something that came out of such a crappy year, just seeing this man living his best life. It was one of the most wholesome videos, and there is something to be said about how wholesome that video is with a name like Dogface.
That's
like
true.
The juxtaposition of that was just so sweet.
It's an aggressively large Ocean Spray
what a
container,
win.
by the way, too.
It
I mean,
is.
it's not like a little handheld
That's the 40
size.
version of cranberry juice.
Yeah,
he
that's...
He
maybe there was something
he went
in there.
for it. But imagine
Nice
being
little
Ocean
mixer,
Spray waking
sidecar.
up and that's a free marketing that they got.
Total viral sensation, and for the person, the brand ambassador, the social media team behind that, what a fun story
So
to wake up to.
what did they do? They leaned in.
They replaced this guy's car. His name was Nathan. They reached out to him. They chose a cranberry friendly color.
That's beautiful.
Perfect for branding. Great photo op opportunity. And beyond that, they also gave him some cash as well to help him out in his
That
situation.
helps. Cash is nice.
And if someone like that's already gone viral, that's an opportunity to hitch your brand wagon to somebody that's on the move.
That already loves your brand.
Why not embrace that customer loyalty? Let's talk about not embracing customer loyalty.
Yeah. So Twisted Tea, on the other hand, and there have been, let's just say for both of these stories we're talking about today, the public has created memes that include these brands at a level that I have never before seen, and it is beautiful.
If your brand is becoming a meme, lean into it.
Meme into it.
Meme into it. I
Meme
love it.
into it. So very different catalyst for this story. For those of you who have not seen the video, it is not safe for work. It is inappropriate, and YouTube will make you confirm like 7 times you wish to see the graphic content. Basically, in a convenience store in Ohio, I think it was Christmas Eve, there's a video that went viral. It has over 6.6 million views on YouTube right now, where you can see a belligerent white man saying the N-word, and there's a black man standing in the convenience store who is like giving him every sign to be like, dude, shut up.
And
not
really,
your moment.
This guy has more patience than I think most of us, even on our best days.
I can't imagine. I'm a white lady here, for those of you at home who had no idea. Like, I feel like watching this, I was even like, oh, hit him. Like, at some point, pacifism can only get you so far. And he did, except for he had a Twisted Tea can that he was buying. He didn't set out and walk into his day and say, today I'm going to hit a racist person in the face with a brand. But he did. So Twisted Tea can meets racist man's face.
Bam.
Video goes viral. The smack heard around the world.
Hit in the face.
And when racism reaches out and says, hit me in the face, you oblige. And sometimes you do it with a can of alcoholic tea.
Have a Boston Tea Party on that guy's face.
It's funny you say Boston Tea Party because Boston Beer Company actually owns Twisted Tea.
That was a layup.
That was a layup. Thank you for that, by the way. So Boston Beer Company, who owns Twisted Tea, declined to comment for a while, didn't lean into this. I think it has been a tumultuous year for a lot of what has gone on in the country. Maybe did not have a plan for how to respond should they be brought into this conversation.
And
as
on
a
the
company
one hand,
hadn't made a statement.
On the one hand, like, how do you prepare for a situation like this? You can't. But there's a sort of saying, right? Prepare for the unexpected, right?
Yeah.
You need to be prepared for what can come down the line.
So Ocean Spray leaned into this. Twisted Tea did not. They still, I think one of the funniest memes I saw is Peace and War, and it's Ocean Spray cranberry juice and Twisted Tea. And obviously you can guess which one's the peace and which one's the war. So it was a beverage brand yin-yang at the tail end of 2020.
You hate to see it.
You hate to love to see it.
Do you want to play just a little bit of the audio? I know that just for the listeners at home, by the way, just in advance, this is, we're going to be bleeping out some of this. We're going to be cutting out some of it, but I do feel like for the story and for the relevance, for those of you that aren't aware, this is not for the faint of heart. And with that, I'm going to play just a small excerpt here.
Yeah, you got yours, buddy.
And this, by the way, is right after he'd already, smacked him straight ahead in this Twisted Tea. Both gentlemen are now on the ground.
He needed to get hit with something. It might as well have been a Twisted Tea.
And the nice thing is that everybody else in that space is cheering this guy on for defending himself. Defending himself after repeated, kind of bullying.
Yeah, he was a bully. Everyone loves a story of a bully getting theirs. They're just desserts. But that being said, also, Boston Beer Company doesn't want to get behind this for whatever reason. They don't. People dragged them on Twitter and said, you're not doing enough. You made a donation to the local NAACP chapter in Ohio. That's great. That money probably isn't going to the direct black community.
And you know what? Like devil's advocate here, as a brand, sometimes you don't know how far to go, right? You don't know, is the donation the right move? If you make a donation, is it ever going to be the right amount? Is it ever going to be the right place? Is it like people on social media are tough critics? So I think it's like in moments like this, it's about being present and taking advantage in a positive way of sort of claiming what's happening in the sort of ecosystem and, not necessarily taking a back seat and adding fuel to the fire that you're maybe not participating in a narrative that's already underway.
That's it. If you're not saying anything, you've said something by saying nothing.
Now, on the other side of it, we played a sort of pretty tough clip to hear. I got a clip that might actually warm the hearts and minds of those listening.
Fleetwood Mac, it turned them on to Fleetwood Mac. Also, that story is developing with Ocean Spray, where Dogface is selling his viral TikTok as an NFT, a non-fungible token.
And for those that don't know about non-fungible tokens, if you've been listening to all of the craze about digital art, it's potentially the next big thing. I think, people are talking about wearables and the ability to sort of wear art and have sort of a single piece or digital art frames at home. But
if we had to talk about another brand who has gone viral, if we had to talk about another, is there anything else that comes to mind with viral stories we have heard about? We promised the people we were going to give it to them.
If there was another story that would come to mind, I feel like it would be the cinnamon toast shrimp.
Cinnamon toast shrimp we have to talk about. We got to give the people what they want. There's a podcaster named Jensen Karp. He supposedly opened a box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, poured himself a nice bowl of cereal, and found 2 cinnamon toast shrimp tails.
Shrimpgate 2021.
Shrimpgate 2021, that is what the peeps are calling it. Obviously, product quality issue, but nonetheless, viral story, includes Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Well, you can appreciate the fact that maybe you can get swept up in the fact that your quality control team would never allow shrimp's legs, arms, or any other body parts to be swept up in your amazing Cinnamon Toast Crunch nougats. Flakes, whatever, the delicious, it's been a few years for me, but we've all tasted the magic that is Cinnamon Toast Crunch. And so their first reaction, well, that couldn't have happened.
Yeah.
But that's not how you greet the internet. You don't tell the internet something that the internet, thinks has happened.
It went
occurred.
just beyond us saying there's no way that occurred in our facility. They actually asked him to bring the shrimp tails to local...
Was there DNA?
Oh, they're getting him DNA tested. They asked him to bring it to local law enforcement to get the shrimp tails DNA tested. I feel like this brand had an opportunity to lean in, to make a comment publicly about how we're going to look into this, but like we apologize. There was none of that. They kind of just blamed their consumer, which the internet did not like. However, this story is even further developing, where now the internet is turning back on Mr. Jensen Karp, and people are coming forward disparaging him. There are women coming forward saying he was manipulative. There are podcast hosts saying, well, do you think he might find his next great podcast idea in the bottom of a box of Cheerios? So now the internet is turning back on him, thinking this might be a publicity stunt for him to actually get some fame.
Oh, my God.
I know. It's like JFK. Like, will we ever know what happened? Really?
I think it's not like that at all.
Come on, the grassy bowl
CIA
of cereal.
Was involved.
The cereal IA.
It was a covert agent. He ate half the shrimp and left the other half in the bowl. I mean, in the age of social media, sometimes things only last a matter of seconds, a matter of minutes.
That's
things get
a
few likes. They don't go anywhere. But when something goes viral, it becomes part of the zeitgeist of society for the meme moment. It has staying power sometimes. And in that case, you have to be in front of the narrative.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe good for Cinnamon Toast Crunch. They got a mulligan, an opportunity to be back at the stage to readdress. And maybe at the end of the day, in the situation, a court of a public opinion, they win this one. But certainly not a strong start.
Not a strong start. And breakfast is the most important meal of the day.
And now for something completely different.
Obviously, we've talked about some interesting, newsworthy moments in the social sphere the interwebs.
Oh, I love saying interwebs.
Yeah, the talk tick and the TikTok.
Yes, the talk tick.
Do you use social media? I love to use it on my BlueBerry. Trying to make some jokes at my own expense. But at the end of the day, for the non-social media natives, even for those that are day in and day out, how the fuck are you supposed to plan for this?
Have you seen, do you watch 30 Rock? We've talked about this.
Yes.
The episode where NBC tries to make a video that they could play if there was any catastrophe. So Jenna
my
Maroney sings a
God.
tribute song, and it's like, we feel so sorry for the thing that happened to the people that the thing happened to. And that's the approach you kind of have to have. You got to be ready for anything.
You know, I think first, if we were thinking about how to put this to work, you have to start with assuming a viral moment has already occurred. What's your scenario plan? What happens if someone captures your brand in a tasteful or maybe untasteful light? What if you are unfortunately hitched to a brand wagon situation you're not necessarily proud of?
Yeah, or one that you are proud of and you want to jump on the bandwagon in the right way.
I mean, for brands, we all hope for an opportunity to have a viral moment. And within the world of content creation, where users are constantly generating content that involve our brands, there's an opportunity to seize the moment sometimes. And so you got to be prepared for that.
And your team has to be prepared. You have to trust that your team, your front lines who are answering your social media messages, your customer support, answering
You got to set
the
those
phone.
people up for success.
Do they know how to lean into a viral moment, whether it's good or bad?
I think more than anything, your social media team, your social media manager, your marketing person, you as a marketing leader, you need to have a playbook. And that playbook needs to consider these options, these potential scenarios. You need talking points. You need talking points that can distill down to a larger core strategy about when you take a stance, when you don't take a stance.
Oh, and can we add one piece? I don't know if it's work or just advice.
Yeah.
Don't try to fabricate your own viral moment.
Yeah.
And trust your customer. Don't assume that they are doing wrong.
The customer's not always right. I think that that's flawed. But if you have a situation, if you have a cinnamon toast shrimp moment, take it offline. Don't educate the internet. First, level with them of like with the situation that they find themselves in, even if it's fictitious, even if it's wrong, even if it's fake. People make mistakes. There's a level of humanity in all of these things, right? Could shrimp have been consumed at one of these high-tech production facilities and somehow tossed into the conveyor belt of... who knows how it's made? It's delicious. I have to stay away from it. It's not, I don't think it's good for you,
it's
right?
definitely not good for you.
It could give you just a sugar
You know what?
rush that
Shrimp
lasts
has
you.
a good amount of protein. So to be honest,
Are you
it might
thinking
be
that there's maybe
healthier.
some cross-branding opportunities between purveyors of shrimp and
I do know
Toast
some
Crunch? What if it was
fringe-
renamed Shrimp Toast Crunch?
Or what if they launched a cereal box that said now with 100% less shrimp? That would be, I would even buy that.
So what do we take away from this? I think the big thing is that problems can be opportunities.
Yeah, and not every problem is a problem unless you make it one.
And people love human moments from your brand.
And they like when you lean in. If you also can make the memes, get on board, lean into the joke.
And I think last thing, have some class, right? Don't cash in on a crisis. Mm-hmm. And I think that's all part of that scenario planning and that upfront strategy.
Yeah, put it to
Because
work.
we would all be lucky enough to have a viral moment. And we would all, in that moment, had wished we had thought and prepared more for what that moment might mean. And with that, we're out, folks.
Thanks so much for listening to Brand to Brand. If you like what you heard, hit the subscribe button, leave us a review, and don't keep us a secret. Tell your friends.